everyone. Welcome to Global Awareness Lecture. My name is Jun Koho, and I'm your MC during the program. Today, we have a wonderful guest speaker, Mr. Rob Nugen. And he's talking about the subject, Explore Your World Barefoot. In Japan, he's called Tadashino Robu-san. And you now, I can see him. There. He will deliver you interesting talk and show you something special. Please welcome Mr. Rob Nugen. And before his speech, I'd like to ask Mr. Shishikura to introduce us the Rob Nugen.
Hi, 皆さん、hello everyone. Today I'd like to introduce American guy and living in my town. I'm living in Niigata. Thank you, Niigata. And same town with me. And Rob came to Japan in 2003. Yes, right? And now he is working as an English teacher and database programming, and a barefoot life coach. Barefoot life coach. 無理やり日本語にしますと、多分、裸足の生活の指導者。こんな仕事あるのかと思いますけどね。Okay, and as you know, as you already see, so he has been living barefoot for more than 20 years,
22 years and counting.
Okay. So today, I believe that he can introduce how he lives barefoot. Okay. I think it's a very, very interesting subject. はい。ということで、ロブさんよろしくお願いします。
Wow. Hi. My name is Rob Nugen, and I walk everywhere barefoot, so they call me Barefoot Rob. And it's not one continuous 22 years experience, but overall, put it all together, like 22 years and counting, been walking barefoot. So I would like to share some adventures, answer some questions, and just generally have a good time today. So thank you guys very much for joining me. Just very, very briefly before we start, I want to acknowledge what happened in the news in Niigata yesterday. And it's a very rare experience in Japan, rare kind of news. So just a moment to notice how you may have been impacted by this. That's touched. So, I love this picture. This picture was taken in Niigata, Koen, near Meguro State. It all started my barefoot days as a child in Texas, and before that, I forgot where I'm from. In Missouri, age 7 is when I left Missouri. So up to age 7, I was in a barefoot life. I had an apple tree that I was in the backyard. I remember very specifically the branch of the tree shaped like that. My foot would fit exactly on the arch. So I very clearly remember being barefoot climbing this apple tree in the house where we lived. I was aged 2 through 7 in this house. So that's really when my barefoot days started, was at that apple tree. After that, however, had to go to school, had to wear shoes, so basically I don't have specific memories of being barefoot in elementary or high school. But in university, with this type of grass, wow, who wouldn't want to be barefoot here? So I contacted what I'll call my senpai, and I don't know what word in English is the perfect word for this, but I contacted a guy. I was like, hey man, do we have to wear shoes on campus? And he said, I have no idea. No one has asked me this question before. Why don't you try it? So I did. And to be honest, I was quite nervous at first. I was like, Hazakashi, I can remember curling my toes while walking, so hopefully no one will see that I'm barefoot, that kind of thing. But it was great. It turned out to be fine. The campus had huge park-like grass in between the buildings. It was the main campus of University of Houston. And I explored, I love exploration. And I'm suddenly forgetting which picture is next. Oh, so exploring creativity as well. This is from the dorms on campus where, it's university. We get to play around. So I call it the halcyon days where we have nothing better to do than to watch paint dry. So have a little fun with creativity exploration. I wasn't just barefoot on campus. I was also barefoot in the city, day-to-day life, parking lot, whatever, driving a car. I was barefoot all the time, and just really enjoyed that. Being in touch with my physical body, being in touch with the environment around me. And I was called the barefoot frisbee guy. This is a picture of me that was on the front page of the daily paper on campus just before we went to spring break. I guess it would be 1994. I graduated in 95, so I was near graduation, but it wasn't my graduation year. Anyway, some guy saw us playing frisbee in the park, and it took about 20 attempts, but that's a real picture. I jumped in the air, do that now, Lowen. I jumped into the air and caught the disc underneath my feet, and I love the picture. But yeah, that was how I, spent my free time and, all my time on campus with barefoot and frisbee. This picture was not on the front page of the paper. We were not supposed to be here, but as I said, I love exploring the world. And this is a picture taken underneath the campus, underneath the water fountain on campus, where we were not supposed to be whatsoever. But I enjoyed exploration. We never hurt anything or broke anything, but just exploring it. That was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, so continuing exploration. This is a very dangerous activity for barefoot walking. These rocks are very sharp, but it tunes my senses. If I misstep, it'll be a lot of blood. So this type of activity, it increases. I don't even know what the biologically what it would be, but my brain is so alive. It's like, don't misstep. You're going to be in a lot of pain. So I love walking and running on the rocks and all this kind of stuff. And it's just another way of exploring the world here. So part of my exploration brought me to Japan. And I didn't know really anything about Japan before I got here, as Hiro-san said, in 2003. But some of my friends said Tokyo was cool. They had, nice train system. So I came to Tokyo just to check it out. It's going to be here a year, maybe 2 years, not get married, And that was the plan, and that's not what ended up happening. Hi, baby Chun, my wife Susan back. And so it's been an adventure. I've been here for 19 years now, traveling in and out of the country. One day, coming back from the United States, I was stopped in the airport, and I'm guessing you might know this TV show. These guys with a TV camera, like young guys. I mean, I was older than both of them. They're like, oh, hey, can we record you on video? I'm like, yeah, sure. I thought it might be that they're like doing some kind of a college presentation or something. I had no idea about the show whatsoever. And they said, oh yeah, thanks. Can we ask a few questions? What are you doing in Japan? I said, well, and I lied. I completely lied to these guys because I thought they're making a documentary. They would enjoy having an interesting answer. So I said, yeah, I'm going to walk across the island. I'm going to walk, because I just freestyling. Also, I'm going to walk in the north and in the south. Completely lying to these guys. And it's like, it's like, yeah, I'm going to walk barefoot everywhere. And you know what they said, right? They said, oh, cool. Can we go with you? Oh, yeah, no, because, and I was like, shit, I'm caught in a lie. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And I kept the lie, just like stack it up. And it's like, well, no, because, the truth. I might not act natural on camera. That was true, because I don't lie. I mean, there's no reason for that. But I did for them. It was like for their show. I'm trying to help them out. Boom, caught in a lie. But anyway, you see the Oboite Mascot. This is from the second time they saw me in Narita Airport. Same guy, same cameraman, the whole thing. And so I was like, Oboite Mascot. They're like, Oboite Mascot, And so they did end up following me around Kawasaki. And top left picture, you can see the guy in the back is also barefoot. I think his name was Yoshioka-san. And there's lots of lies on TV. He was like, okay, Rob, you asked me to walk barefoot. And I'll say, eh. So they set the whole thing up. And I was like, hey, you should walk barefoot. He was like, eh. It was really strange, but we had a lot of fun. Walked around for a day and a half on this show. They said, you'll be famous for about 6 months after this show airs. And they were right, except they were wrong. I think because of Hadashi Barefoot, I was famous for like a year after the show. And people were like, oh my God, I saw you on TV, And it was really amazing to have that kind of experience just for doing something that's so natural for me and having this experience. So when walking around, they put a piece of glass on the ground and had me find the glass, another lie on TV. But I found the glass. I forgot to put a picture of that. But there have been times that I've been injured while walking barefoot. Boom. This is while hiking. I forgot to mention there's blood. This is while hiking. People sometimes ask me, hey, do you ever injure your feet? I'm like, yes, it happens. But it's not often enough that I want to wear shoes. That type of injury will heal in 2 weeks without really any treatment whatsoever. And so I basically don't worry about it, cover it a little bit or wash it a little bit, but it's just the very first layer of skin. And so, but later been thinking about it, it's like, well, wearing a new pair of shoes, get injured anyway, get blisters, get this or that, so it's just as if I have a different kind of shoes, sometimes I get injured and it's fine. One more blood picture coming up. This is from riding my bicycle. I scraped my foot there on the wire there, but again, it's like, whatever, don't worry about it. So all good. Got the next picture. It is this one. Oh, why? So why would I walk barefoot? if you get these injuries, sometimes the ground is hot or cold or what have you. And people will see me in the street like, ah, Daijaru, are you okay? Like, yeah, I'm fine. And then if the conversation continues, they're like, why are you barefoot? And they might ask, is it for health? Is it, like for training? I forgot. The order actually they usually say health. Is it for some kind of a training? Is it for some kind of health? Is it because you lost a Batsu game? I actually had that question once. It was pretty funny. And I'm like, no, actually it's none of that. It's because I love to be barefoot. It's just the joy of being barefoot. And it's like this sign I saw, you are happy because you laugh. And for me, I am happy because I walk barefoot. And kind of secretly, one of the reasons I walk barefoot and talk about it is to encourage people, to encourage you, do what makes you happy. These types of choices that we can make to help increase our happiness are our choice. And so I encourage people to enjoy life by doing the things you like to do. Forgot the next slide. Oh yeah. So shiatsu, acupressure. When the other reasons they talk about health as a reason, that's like an added bonus, a benefit. Like I received shiatsu on the bottom of my feet, acupressure, just by walking because the ground is bumpy and I have all these acupressure points, as we all do. But there's another benefit. You look at your hand, you have all these different bones and fingers in your hand. The feet are the same. We have all these different bones and stuff that don't get used to their full benefit if we're only wearing shoes, especially if they're tight shoes. People tend to heel strike when they walk with the heels down first. Not how the body was designed. So it's actually like designed to you put the toes down first, and then it reduces the impact by letting all these bones and stuff do their job as we're walking. It's better for the body and protects the knees, protects the hips, and all that type of stuff. So this is a secondary reason that I'm glad that it helped me to walk barefoot, but not my primary reason. Next slide was, oh yeah, so you may have heard that I walked across the island, and it is true. It started as a joke. My wife and I have a dear friend, Mikako, who used to live in Tokyo, who moved to Niigata, and it's a long drive, and my wife would like me to help her drive, and I was like, you don't need to drive, we could walk to Niigata. So what started as a joke, after some time, I was like, hey, I told those guys, the TV guys, that I wanted to walk across Japan. Why don't we do this thing? And it took a year of planning, and encouragement from some very dear friends. But basically, this is the first day last year, I think it was April 16th. This is at Rinko Park in Yokohama, which is right over there somewhere. I'm lost in this building, but like 1 kilometer from this building is where this picture was taken, right by the water. And I jumped over the fence to get into the water. So like on one side of the island, I'm in the water. And then the idea was to walk across, can you see the shirt? Kimeta, Niigata made aruku, hadashi de. I got these 2 shirts made, quite expensive. If you're going to get shirts made, get a bunch made, don't just get 2 made. But I had this idea that, I'll wear these cool shirts and I'll walk across the island. And if you think about it, the shirts get less and less interesting the closer I get to my goal. It's like I'm in Niigata, it says I'm going to walk to Niigata. It's like, ooh, I should have done that the other way around. But anyway, it was impossible to walk across the island barefoot for me because this is the first day. So Baby-chan and I walked from the park, Rinko Park, to our house, 20 kilometers. And our friend Will as well joined for a good part of that up until Shin-Yokohama Station. So this is me and my wife at the halfway point of the walk. And quite tired, still 10 more kilometers to go. And we got home that night, and she's like, "You're crazy. You're gonna keep this up? How? What are you thinking, man?" And but we did, and it was fine. The next day, I walked to Yomiuri Land. I'm not doing the whole trip day by day, but I walked to Yomiuri Land and had another party. And then after that party, everyone went home, and the trip really started. And it started raining. This is the second night of my walk. It was, I mean, I was all in raincoat and everything, but it was really raining impressively hard. For Tokyo, it doesn't get as strong rain very often, but it was like boom. And the streets were like coursing with water on the way down. This is in Chofu City. And I got to the hotel and like walked inside. This water is like pouring off of my raincoat and off the bag and everything. And the guy behind the desk, he's just kind of like looking at me, and I was like, kind of hazakashi, and I said, "Arite He's like, "No problem, come on in," kind of thing. And but the trip had truly started at that point. I was alone. It was raining. Whatever. But I knew I would encounter difficulties. However, I didn't think about these difficulties. Oh my God. Like, you don't see these on the sidewalk in Tokyo, but they're everywhere on the sidewalk, and get further out into the country. Wow. I mean, so I know not to step on them, but there's a bunch of them. And so it was really hard sometimes to, figure out where to walk. And I really was like, okay, ganbarimasu, hadashi, I'm going to walk barefoot across this island. And I got my first injury. This is in near Seibuin. There's an amusement park that I walked to on the third day. And I stepped, like, uh-oh, that was glass. And I had to pull the glass out of my foot. And but that was the first injury. Fortunately, Seibuin was closed, so I didn't waste time there. And I thought it would be like time well spent, like, yay, roller coaster, yay. But look at this walk, or I don't have a pointer. From the left is Seibuin, 3.8 kilometers across this, walkway. There's a hotel, we stayed Tokorozawa in the top where I stayed. And it's on the map. That's what Google Maps says. It's beautiful. Hey, that looks great. But this was the reality. Holy crap. It was like, oh my God. Oh, it was every step. And my feet were already kind of sore. This is the third day of walking. Wow. It was an amazing experience. And I mean, the 3.8 kilometers wasn't all this, but it was a lot like this. And by the end, I was walking so slowly and was so far behind schedule, it looked like this. I couldn't see anything. In the middle of Inaka, there's no lights and the sidewalk was, dude, I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. And that was the first time I put on my sandals. And I promised myself I'll take them off again once I get to the light, and I did. But it was dangerous, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to step on one of those guys. What do they call it? Cootie? Yeah, I was like, nope, not going to step on that. But that night, I finally got to the hotel, and I was so happy to eat. I was so happy to take a bath, and I was so tired that I did them both at the same time. So this is literally a frame from a YouTube video, 18 minutes long, of me eating curry in the bathtub in a hotel that And I was so happy. I looked at a smile. I was so happy. And it's like, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. My mom's not here. You know, it's just like I can do anything I want. And just, you know, have a free lifestyle. It was great. And yeah, so there was lots of ups and downs during the walk. The next morning had another down. So I was walking, all fine. And suddenly, the sidewalk ended. Oh, crap. And that truck is very close to the edge of the road. And I kind of panicked. I'm like, crap. So I just relaxed. I had to think. And there was a guy nearby. I was like, I'll go talk to the guy. I don't remember his name, but this man showed me this sidewalk. I'm like, huh, I can do this. So this is literally I'm lost track, the third or fourth day of the walk by this point. And yeah. Okay, that's the end of the day-by-day stuff of the walk. There were experiences during the walk that I could not have predicted. They were not on the map. They're not marked. It was only because I was walking was I able to experience the next thing I want to show you. Walking in the snow country in Niigata, the Highway 17 that goes next to Prince Hotel has a roof over the highway where the mountains on the right, going north, mountains on the right, snow coming down the mountain will go on the roof and then over the highway instead of onto the highway. Great, no problem. So I'm walking along the highway and I found a ladder going up to the roof. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to climb that ladder. Because looking around, there's nobody looking at me. There's no one around whatsoever. So I climbed the ladder just to see what's on top of the roof. And I found this. Wow, I love it. It's like this, they built this playground just for me. And I'm like, you know, hopping across these tires. You know, I mentioned the rocks that I like. It's like the energy that I get from like real time, like, oh my God, don't step on these wires in between the tires. They're all being held together by these baling wires, and they didn't take care to make sure they're not sharp, because who would walk up there without shoes? No one, right? Me. So, and some of the tires were like bursts on the side. You know, the cables inside the tires were no longer in the tires. They're like sprayed out everywhere, and I had to not step on the cables. It was really dangerous. I do not recommend it, but it was so much fun. And it was, again, it's not on the map. That you know, ladder is not marked anywhere. So really great. Just because I walked, was able to find this. One more amazing thing that I found was a tunnel. Oh, that was me. I'm very, very, very happy on those tires. A tunnel with windows inside it. What? We're in a mountain. How are there windows in a tunnel? I thought there were lights when we're looking from far away. And so I'm like, wait a second, that's a window. Oh my God. And I'm trying to look out the window. It was very like hard to see through, like basically like this wall. And I'm trying to like look through the window, and they're like, you know, there's so much dirt. They don't keep these windows clean at all. It was like, man, someone should come out here. So I tried for several minutes to look through the window. Couldn't see much of anything. So I say we, it was me and my friend Jason by that time walking by that point. And we kept walking, and guess what we found? This giant door, 4 meters tall. That's my head. That's that hinge. I'm 180 centimeters tall. That hinge is taller than me. The door is twice that tall. So that's a 4-meter door. And it's like, oh, I guess we can walk out this 4-meter door. What do you think? You know? And so we walked out into this beautiful, like, winter wonderland, so to speak. It's like a natural, you know, nature had just taken over everything. It was so cool. You say, wow, we could live out here. No one would know, because this car is just driving through the tunnel. You know, that's on the right, that's like one of the windows of the tunnel. And they basically had, you know, 2 tunnels, and they connected them with a very short, it was like 50 meters long only. very, very interesting architecture of the thing. So again, we wouldn't have found that had we not just been exploring, very slowly and taking the time to walk. Rough road, yeah. We're getting to the end of the story here. I finally did have to wear my shoes at some point because the road was like horrifying in some places. And like all my friends on Facebook were like, oh, finally he's wearing his sandals. And it was really a big consideration for me as like, I'm not walking fast enough, don't show. And I literally like, oh wait, I have sandals. And so I put on my sandals and was able to then kind of walk at the rate I needed to walk. It was really, really slow, really, really hard. This was an amazing experience. Near the last days of my trip, this is in Niigata, I found a pizza place that was like 400 meters off course where I needed to walk. And I was like, sorry, pizza place, 400 meters? No way, I'm not going to walk an extra 400 meters. But I was so tired that I forgot to reset my Google Maps. I used to do the phone. I forgot to reset it to the hotel. And I got to this place. I'm like looking for the hotel. It should be right here. And I see a pizza place. Oh, that's convenient. Hang on. This is the pizza place. That's amazing. And I realized what had happened. I inadvertently had walked to the exact place. It was very good pizza. I mean, the cheese going way out to the edge. And I said, give me all your cheeses. So the guy was really nice. It was great fun. So definitely recommend it. Then the very last night of the walk, I stayed at a hotel, a guest house called GooGoo. And they also have a restaurant called GooGoo. And the name is cool because they said, oh, in Japanese, deep sleep is like GooGoo. And like omakasuita, GooGoo. I was like, that's genius. So these guys, this is Daisuke and Hiroe, were really, really nice. They greeted me at the guest house and they said, you have the place to yourself because we were in the middle of Corona and there was not many other tourists. And they said, but we're going to go to the restaurant. They said, asobi ni kite ne. And normally, if they had just said, kite ne, I wouldn't have come, but because I was so tired. But they added this word asobi ni, and it's like, have fun? Okay, I'll do it. And it was a lot of fun. I'm really, really grateful I got to hang out with them. They actually, they bought my pizza, they bought my ice cream. They're like, no, they didn't let me pay. And so my wife and I came back there on the way back from the end of the trip. But these guys are really great. So if you get the chance to go to restaurant GooGoo, definitely recommend it. So this is just like a half day from the end, and here's the end. Hiro-san, Mikako, and my wife had made this beautiful, cute flag in the gold thing. I was like, I'm crying, so happy and so tired at the same time. And they brought pizza as well. I was like, yay, more pizza. And we had this like symbolic picture at the water and actually in the water in Niigata. And it's like, yay, I finished the trip, fantastic, I'm so happy. But I wasn't. I suddenly went into like a deep depression, and this like no longer applied to me. It was like my life was like useless, like boring. Why did I walk across the island? That was ridiculous. And I just was feeling like bummed for like 10 days. And I couldn't understand it myself, but a friend of mine, psychologist, said, oh, it's because you're in grieving. You've lost an identity. You were the guy who was walking across the island. Now you're not. And I was like, huh. And so the invitation is just notice where we are in life, grieving or enjoying things. Things change. And that's why I mentioned the thing about nada as well, was noticing where we are in life. So later in the year, I spoke on stage. We're getting very, very to the end now. So look at that carpet. when I walked onto the carpet, I was like, oh, this carpet feels great. And that's actually on the video from the TEDx talk in Ogikubo. And I'm like, wow, this carpet feels great. So we're about to play a game. And I would like to invite you guys to imagine feeling with your feet this type of carpet. And I took a close-up photo of a blanket. Imagine feeling this with your feet. What would that be like? We're about to have an experiential game that we can practice and play with sensory perception with our feet. So this is going to be the Imagine Sensations game show. Yay! So that's the end of my presentation part. We're going to play a game now. I'll be the first contestant. Team coming up here to help with the game show. And very 1 minute intermission now. So here's how it's going to work. I will be the first participant to come to this setup here. 1 second. We have the mystery box. And let me slide over so we can see it on TV. Well, okay. So now, get rid of the mouse. Here's the steps. The first contestant, being me, contestant will sit on the chair. Put your feet into the box. Cover your feet with the blanket. Lift feet, close your eyes. A mystery item will be put into the box, and then slowly put your feet back down and feel this thing. So that's the process. I'll do it first, and then we have 3 volunteers, I believe.
Please close your
Yes, I will close my eyes. Okay, so I've sat down, feet in the box, lifting my feet, closing my eyes. I'm ready. Eyes are closed.
Okay.
Just you can put down your.
Good. Balancing, this is a yoga intermission.
I'll
My eyes are
explain
closed.
the audience what.
Yes, so don't say it out loud, but you can show the audience this thing.
これ新人の社員の級のに出られた方は何と言われているんですけど、会員研修グループの3種の人物としてこう皆さんに役割をこう使う。で、これを入れようと思いました。Okay? So,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
let me see. I just explained in Japanese. So, you can understand.
I closed my ears, so I didn't hear you. Cool. So let me know when I can put my feet down.
Okay, please.
Oh my gosh. I've been practicing this always with an empty box. So I'm putting my feet down. Oh, okay. So it feels very yawarakai, like soft, like a warm. It feels warm somehow. It feels like fabric, but there's lots of, like, it almost feels like feathers. Oh my gosh. I will definitely say it's either feathers or fur and a fabric of some type. I'm not sure. I'm guessing an article of clothing, and I'm imagining many colors because I can feel the different textures on it. So, oh my gosh, this is really interesting. I don't know how many minutes I should go until I figure it out, but so fabric something, feather something. I'm guessing an article of clothing, maybe like a shawl or something like that. So that's my guess.
Okay, very cool.
Yay! Can I open my eyes?
I'm sure you never reached it.
Okay. Okay.
You wanna look at yourself?
I guess. Let's see. Oh my gosh, his hair! It's a wig! Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's amazing. So we have 3, oh my gosh. Now it's like kimoy, kimoy. Okay. So
you need
three participants to play.
So maybe I have to do it first. And I would like to ask 2 more volunteers who join.
Tanoshimi, tanoshimi. We have 3 mystery items that we'll put into the mystery box.
So please raise your hand. If anybody? Oh. Okay. Thank
Yay!
you. And anybody, one more? One more? That we have to ask a very... Oh, yes.
Yay! Great. Thank you. So, Mom, so please come up onto the stage. Yeah. Maybe Futani can just have it say, just relax in the seats. So one person come up, please. Mom, have a seat. Take off your shoes. Fabric. Yada. So I forgot to say this part while I was feeling, but imagine what it would feel like. You can see it on the video. Imagine what it would feel like to feel things. So now, great. Please put your feet into the box. Bedroom. Okay, and then cover. So you can't see down into the hole there. Okay. And ready? Yeah, close your eyes. Lift your feet. And okay, Dozo Shosan. And okay, you breathe. Please lower your feet very slowly.
Scary.
Oh, I meant. So not what you feel, but how does it feel?
I don't feel it.
Uh-oh. Keep going. Keep going. Oh. How does it feel? And guys, imagine what it would feel like. Something hard. Round. Yeah. Imagine feeling this. It's a ring. You're very close. I don't know. Can you lift it? Oh.
It's a fake.
Oh, Oshi. あと30秒。あと10秒。Okay, please. Go ahead, have a look.
Oh.
Frisbee! Yay! Thank you. Excellent.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
Nice. Thank you very much. Big round of applause. Yay! Okay. Next contestant. Yes. Are you afraid of snakes?
I don't like poisonous.
Okay. There's no poisonous snakes. Again, please take off your socks and shoes and socks. So Hiro-san is fixing the tech side of things. It's very light, it's just an Amazon box basically. Okay, good. Feet in the box. There you go. And please cover your feet with this fabric. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, okay. And now please lift your feet. Yeah, close your eyes. Lift your feet. Gamate. Okay, yosh. Okay. Yukuride, please lower your feet slowly. Something here.
Like a box.
Ah, good. It's a box? What kind of box?
It's
Also, what do you feel? How do you feel?
Yeah.
What do you notice?
paper inside.
Use paper. Good, 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 good.
Let me see. Okay. Box.
The box. Imagine feeling this with your feet.
Yeah. Very soft.
Yes.
Inside.
Soft paper inside.
Yeah, I can imagine this is fish paper.
Way! Good, 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 good. Excellent. Good job. 1 for 3. Yay, great job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's omiyage. Ashi sawata tissue. Omiyage. Maybe you can sell online some. Yay, another round of applause. Thank you. Yay. Okay. Our third item. Okay, yes. Oh. Yay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Excellent. So, are you afraid of snakes? Are you afraid of snakes? Maybe kawaii, kawaii ka. No, okay, good. Okay, snake, no problem. Great. Okay, please put your feet in the box. Mystery box. Mystery box. Yes. Please cover here. Okay. And third item coming soon.
Close my head.
Yes, please close your eyes. Thank you. Chotomate, mara, chotomate.
難しい。
そうでもないけど。Okay, please slowly lower your feet. And how does it feel?
Well, there's so many balls. No balls. Half of balls.
Half of balls, yeah, good.
Good. Many.
Many, definitely feel many.
And separated.
Yes, they separate.
Not one. Separate half balls. And
Yes. What else do you feel there?
it's a common thing.
Himitsu.
Sorry?
Himitsu.
Himitsu. Oh. Then I see.
Okay, あと10秒. Okay, what do you think it is? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is?
Wow. I don't have any.
Yay, you're right! Dun, dun, dun. I have no idea what they are. Woohoo! Fantastic, thank you. Oh, man. What is this? These they're made of bamboo. It was a bamboo curtain. So, yeah, very rare item. So, yes, biscuits. So, excellent. So I don't know. That's the right answer. I have no idea. Yay! Thank you very much. Thank you guys for imagining what it would feel like to feel these items. And I lead barefoot walking events where you get a chance to feel things in real life. Excellent, thank you very much. Yay, thank you guys. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. So thank you guys for imagining what it would feel like to touch these items with your feet. I walk barefoot every day, and I lead barefoot walking events that people attend. And the next one is next one's tomorrow in Takao-san. We're going to climb Mount Takao tomorrow barefoot. If you want to join that. But next week in Rinko Park, wherever Rinko Park is, about 1 kilometer from here, thank you, over that way, we're going to do a barefoot walking event from, from 1 p.m. in Rinko Park. So if you're interested to come to try it out, the grass is beautiful. That area with the concrete is under construction now, but the grass is great. The sea breeze is great. And I have one photo from my 75-year-old and 79-year-old attendees in the Shin Yurigaoka area. They come every month to the Shin Yurigaoka event. It was like 70 nen buri since they had been barefoot when they first joined the event. And they had a great time. So I hope you guys will join a barefoot event starting next week if you like. Which way? Oops. So again, that's my show. That's the chance for next week to join us. Thank you guys very much for having me.